plant versus whey protein, because we do get this question a lot. Some people have issues with whey and or dairy, so finding other options is a must for you. But before we dig into that, let's talk about how whey and plant protein are made. Whey protein is just what it sounds like: protein powder that's made from whey, which is the byproduct from making cheese. It's made by processing the whey to get rid of carbs, fat, and extra water, leaving whey concentrate, which is the powder that you get, the most pure form of whey.
Yes. So yeah, when you make cheese, you have the casein protein. I still haven't fucking looked up how to say this fucking word.
I've heard it like 7 ways.
Okay, we're good then. It's one of those where it's tomato. Anyway, so the casein protein is the other half of milk. It's the milk solids that you use to make cheese. And then you have the whey. So yeah, you take the rest of the stuff to make cheese fucks off, and then you're left off with the whey, and they do all the things to it, and then they add all the awesome flavors, and boom, you have a protein shake. Plant protein, on the other hand, is made from ground up plants, aka plant meal, and then is processed further into an isolate. So when you hear like soy isolate, pea protein isolate, etc., this is what they're talking about: the most pure form of the protein from the plant.
Yep. And they're both going to be great sources of protein. If you're having a hard time eating protein throughout your day, remember that they are supplements. So we're not ever going to tell anybody to replace your food with a protein shake. If you have a hard time getting it in, that's what she said. If you or if you're short on time, if whatever, just don't use it to replace a meal all of the time. Don't have 6 shakes a day. Like, I know people who, that's the fucking what is it called, slim fast diet. Don't do that. Don't do that. You need food. You need actual food.
Yeah. I mean, a couple shakes a day. Like, if you aren't super hungry in the morning and you just want to make sure that you have something and you have a protein shake, if you have 1 or 2 a day, dude, that's totally fine. Like, I'm not sweating you for having protein shakes. Like, they exist for a reason. Just don't make sure you're not
love protein shakes
too much. Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah, don't rely on them to get to all of your protein in a day is essentially what we're saying.
1, it's really fucking expensive. 2, it comes with a shit ton of carbs involved.
And you're gonna fart your butthole off.
God, dude. When I used to be able to drink whey protein, it's such a travesty that I can't have dairy because I fucking love milk. Like, everyone's like, how are you lactose intolerant? I'm like, man, I don't want to talk about it.
I'll tell you how. Genetics.
Yeah, my stomach decided that it fucking hates me. But like, I used to drink the shit out of whey protein shakes because I had an endorsement for one of the radio stations I worked at with a local supplement company. So I got like $150 in free shit a month. And so we drank mad protein shakes at our house, and God, did it always smell like a dog fart. Apartment.
You're gonna fart a lot. Yeah, the protein toots.
Smells like a college dude's dorm room.
Not great. Not great.
You live with a teenager, you know what that's like.
It's fucking awful.
All right, so let's weigh the pros and cons of whey protein. Then, no pun intended. Absolutely no pun intended. I did not do that on purpose. The pros of whey is that it's going to have more amino acids than plant protein, again, because it's more of a complete protein because it's coming from an animal source. These are going to be different aminos because obviously you have different food sources. So we're going to talk about what other aminos the plants have in a second. But whey has leucine, isoleucine, methionine, and lysine, which are all of these play a huge role in protein synthesis in your body. Half of them, so leucine and isoleucine, do the protein synthesizing. The other 2 are part of your metabolism processes. So protein is essential not only to building muscle, but also to keep your fucking body firing.
Yes. It's responsible for so much, and like, that's the nerdy episode I want to do to illustrate why it's so important. And maybe in a month or 2 we'll do that, because it's eye-opening, to say the least. Leucine,
electric boogaloo coming your way soon.
Right? Leucine and isoleucine are BCAAs. So when it comes to gains, whey has the highest biological value of any protein source. So it absorbs super quickly. It's more readily digestible, and it's almost in almost all of the way it's consumed is absorbed into your bloodstream. So it's like uptake real quick.
Yeah, it's not instantaneous, but it is almost as quick as it's gonna be. By the way, talk about nerdy stuff. When I wrote these out, like, I was really pushing my glasses back up on the bridge of my nose real hard. So whey is great, but there are some cons. So one of them being that the main type of sugar in whey is lactose. And you know where this is headed.
Mm.
So if you're dairy sensitive, whey is going to likely be a no-go for you, which I feel your pain. Let's all take a collective moment of silence for those of us that can't eat this beautiful food that is cheese or drink protein shakes.
I don't envy any of you. Sorry.
I loved the protein coffee, like pre-mixed shakes that you can buy, like just the powder that you throw in a fucking thing of water and you go. Like, I love that shit. Birthday cake flavored protein shakes are fucking delicious.
True
And I
story.
can't have them. It's such a crime. I'm so pissed about it. Like, I'm so annoyed by my lactose intolerance that I've actually looked up having my gut bacteria changed via fecal transplant, because that's one way that you can potentially get rid of lactose intolerance.
All right.
Since we're getting all nerdy today. Hello, welcome back to the podcast. I hope you missed us talking about poop. We're back, motherfucker. So if you're dairy sensitive, whey protein's not going to work. There are some types of whey protein that are lactose free, and they may work for you. But if it doesn't, and you still have stomach troubles after the lactose free whey, there's a very real possibility that you could just have a problem with milk proteins in general. And if that's the case, please go talk to your doctor.
Yes.
Because that is a major food sensitivity problem.
Yeah, for sure. And some people can also be allergic to whey as it comes from cow milk. They're rare, but it's a thing to be aware of. And some people also have issues with constipation while using whey protein. This isn't normal, and it's not like all of, it's pretty rare, but could be another sign of lactose intolerance from slowed gut movement.
Yeah, so if it gives you the runs or if it makes you stop shitting altogether, neither of those are normal. Please go see a doctor because you might have some digestive issues. And they're the worst. Like, go get that shit handled.
Yeah, literally.
Like, angry gut is the most miserable thing ever, and I don't wish that on anybody. So speaking of angry guts, if you have angry gut from dairy, let's talk about this plant protein. Plant protein is going to have different aminos because you're talking about a different protein source. Plant proteins are never going to be complete proteins except for soy. Soy is the one thing that there's always exceptions to rules, and that is soy. So plant protein, for example, today we are just going to talk about soy protein. There are so many different types of plant protein.
There's rice protein. There's tons.
There's a bazillion. Like, I literally said the word bazillion on TikTok so many times the other day when I was talking about protein, because there are so fucking many options that it's the best word that I can pick every time. A multitude, a cornucopia, if you will.